What's up, everybody? Welcome to Storm Sessions, brought to you by OmegaXL Sport. My name is Danny Enriquez, and I am here with one of the most dynamic players in the ACC, Keelan Marion. Keelan, how are we doing?
What's going on?
Feeling good, man. It's funny, everybody talked about you being a returner, obviously an All-America, but you've been showing people that you are a complete football player, complete receiver. How's it been here at Miami?
It's been great. I can't complain. I know the guys brought me in here. I've been feeling like I've been here since a freshman, so that's really good. I've been feeling like I've been here since a freshman. But other than that, I can't complain. The guys just we push each other to go harder and harder every day, get better and stuff like that. But I can't complain. It's a fun place to be.
So let's take it all the way back to the beginning, right? Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah. Family
full of brothers. So I know that was a competitive atmosphere. What was it like growing up with all that kind of that male energy, competitive? I got to imagine it was crazy.
It's just that I know in the house we always used to like play fight and wrestle and stuff. So sometimes I might think they playing too much. My older brothers playing too much and stuff. So I get mad, cry, do all this and that. But it only just made me tougher. So I do the same thing to the younger brother, Cruz. So I give him a lot of crap.
Were you holding up in the Royal Rumbles there in the house?
Oh, yeah. I used to win. They know I used to win. I'm a big little bro.
So obviously everybody knows you're a football player, but from what I understand, basketball was kind of your main thing at a young age. I always loved football, but basketball was one of your top sports. So tell me about your basketball game.
The basketball game, I always thought I was going to the NBA, but I realized that it's harder to get scholarships in basketball than it is in football. So I know in Little League at the park, I wasn't getting a lot of playing time in football. So I had quit. I was telling my dad, man, I'm going to play AAU ball. We're going to go play basketball. I was on 3 different teams every weekend. So it was just fun, me just traveling around, just playing ball. But I was a shooter.
Okay, so you're a guard?
Yeah, I was like Curry before it was Curry. I was Keelan Curry before it was Stephen Curry.
Keelan Curry. Well, I know you played with some great players. Anthony Edwards, who's obviously one of the top players in the world right now. Also, a future teammate, current teammate of yours, which is CJ Daniels, right, from the Atlanta area. So tell me about just you and CJ, because I was talking to your dad about that. That was crazy to me. I didn't even know about that. So tell me about that relationship.
I met CJ through my best friend named Deshaun Stoudemire. He played at Troy University. He played football down there. And we all stayed in the same area and stuff growing up. So me and Deshaun were best friends, and we went to the same elementary school and same middle school and high school too. So it was basically Deshaun played at this park called Central DeKalb, and I played at Redan Park. And so me and Deshaun were so close that every weekend after our middle school games, I go to the park game just to watch him play because he played at the park and at this middle school. And CJ was the quarterback. And so that's how I became close to CJ. And ever since that, I used to play on CJ dad AAU team too. So it was just we always kept that bond and that connection. CJ always been that quiet guy. He's always been a quiet guy. People think he just, CJ mad, chill. He's been like that since we were kids. He's just a quiet guy. He stays to himself. Always have a little chuckle in the here and there. But CJ, my dog.
It's just crazy how the world works. Now you guys back together here on this big stage. But aside from sports, 'cause I know you're playing sports and working on your game constantly growing up and also doing your schoolwork and stuff like that. Anything else you like to do with growing up? Video games, just playing around?
Oh, yes, sir. I love to play the college football. I love to play college football 26 and Fortnite. I'm a big Fortnite guy. And other than that, I like to go play basketball on the free time, go out, especially since I'm in Miami now. I get on the boat with the teammates, enjoy ourselves, ride the jet skis, go to the beach, stuff like that. I'm back down south, so I can get me some good food now instead of being out west. So it's been great.
And just in terms of basketball, going back to it, because you played out here, are you the top guy down here? How are those games down here?
Oh, yeah. I was asking them when I came here in the summer from BYU. I was asking them, when we going to go play some basketball? I want to see what they were talking about. So I had already let them know that I'm the best one on the team.
Any competition? Anybody's number 2?
I heard Henry Pikes. I heard Henry Pikes. He supposed to be that guy. So I told him I want to see him. I told him I want to see him on the court.
It's funny. I've heard that from multiple people. One of the sleeper athlete out there.
He got to show me. He got to show me.
So listen, you're playing obviously in the talent-rich area. You're playing with a lot of future pros. Atlanta, it's like South Florida. It's highly intense. You play at some very top-notch programs. I know your dad was taking you to a lot of camps, etc. Yes, we know how it turned out with you being one of the top players in college football, where you're at right now. But as far as in high school, it didn't seem like the traction matched your talent.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So what was it like for you who's going to camps? It's not like you were like hiding. You were going to camps, you were competing, you're playing at big programs and maybe not getting the attention that you felt you might have deserved.
It was pretty frustrating, just playing at a high school like Grayson, you got 42 kids going to D1 schools. And it's just like, once I got, so I'm gonna start it over. So once I got to just Grayson High School, which is a powerhouse high school down in Georgia.
Yep.
So they known for football, basketball, like every sport there is major.
Top 5 in the country right now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they're ranked 4. So going there with that chip on my shoulder, not having any stars, not having any offers and stuff, it just made me want to, want to get like those guys, want to have the stuff they have. So it just pushed me to be better. And like, I'm a guy, like I'm very competitive. I'm a trash talker, and I know that just having that type of confidence make me who I am. And it's like, when I went there, those guys having offers from Georgia. You see Kirby Smart landing on the practice field at practice. You just see Nick Saban, Nebraska coming through. Like, every school in the nation is bringing their whole staff, from head coach to special teams coordinator. The whole staff is coming to the school. That's how powerful the school was. So me going over there with no offers, I try to bring it to those guys every day, because I knew that those guys were so good. They were bringing a lot of college coaches, and that's an opportunity for me to show what I can do. But it's just like, every camp I went to, Alabama, where else I went? I went to too many camps. Like, me and my dad always got on the road with my little brother Cruz, and we all took those night long rides and back and forth. It was days where I was like exhausted, but my dad was just like, "We got to go get it. We can't afford to miss no days, because we don't got no offers or stuff. We got to attack it." So he used to train me from Monday to Sunday. Like, I couldn't go hang with friends until I go train first. Until I go train, that's when I can go have my free time. But I had to go train first. So he just instilled that in me, and we just kept on going. He used to, a parent, does so much that they get frustrated. So it's just like, I used to always tell my dad, just don't worry. I know sometimes he might get frustrated and he can bring it to me, and sometimes, that can make the kid frustrated. And I used to always just tell him, like, man, I'm not worried about that, Dad. We're gonna be straight. Like, I just know I'm having fun. I know I'm bringing it every day. So every camp I went to, no matter whether it was Power 5, Power 4, or G5 school, I was killing them every time. But it's just more schools wanted me to play defense, and I didn't want to play defense, which I could have played it. Like, I probably could have had more scholarship offers at defense than the receiver. And I just stuck with what my heart told me to. I wanted to play receiver, so now I was going to show people that I can play receiver. I was running fast times at camps, having great routes, making crazy catches, and it's just like, some schools wouldn't offer me because that school didn't offer me. It's like, I ran into a situation one year with Tennessee, and I'll never forget, the coach asked me of why I don't have any Power 5 offers. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I could tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ask them, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Ask them why they didn't offer me. So it's just like, ever since then, I just kept my chip on my shoulder. So I was committed to South Alabama out of Grayson High School. I was committed to South Alabama in class of 2019. I got injured the second game of the season, like broke my left ankle against a school from Jersey called Bergen Catholic. Big game. Come back, I didn't come back to like the first round of the playoffs. I go for like 4 or 5 tutties in the playoffs, and we lose in the third round to Lowndes. But South Alabama called me the week before the first playoff game and told me that they were going to take the scholarship. Something which had never happened to me. I never had that feeling, and it like, I didn't even know how to even go into the meeting in high school of just like, wow, I just really got my scholarship took. Like, it didn't hit me, but it did. And it's like, I reclassified. I went to a prep school in Columbia. Instead of going to JUCO, losing a year of eligibility, I just reclassified to class of 2020. So I went to this prep school named Parental Prep in Columbia, South Carolina. Went there for 4 months. I was already eligible to get into college. I just needed film, basically. That's what schools wanted, film. Mm-hmm. And I went to some camps again. So I went to Houston. I went to the University of Houston, got an offer, had a big camp there. Went to UAB, ran a 4.4 there. I got an offer from there. Got an offer from UConn, Alabama State, and another school. But what my goal was, to try to play on the biggest stage. So I went with the UConn offer. So I went to UConn, me not never knowing where UConn is was a totally shock too. So I never knew like where Connecticut even was on the map until I went on the official visit. So me and my dad went out there on the visit. You know, we liked it. It was cool. I committed there. And I had got on the plane and I was just like, I had looked over to my dad. I was like, what did we just do? It didn't feel right because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. So I just took the opportunity, and it ended up being one of the best things that happened to me. So I met some very close people, and you know, playing at UConn, which is a big basketball school, so I'm looking for a bigger stage to play at like ACC, Big 12, SEC, like a bigger stage to get opportunity. And God blessed me to have a great freshman season to be playing at UConn, and schools were trying to get me to leave. We got a new coach, and I gave the coach my word and told him I was going to stay. And that first game of the season in 2022, I catch a fade ball, break my collarbone. Now I'm out this season. 2020 was supposed to be my freshman season, but it was canceled due to COVID. UConn was like one of the only teams canceled the season. So come 2022, I break the collarbone. That spring, I decided to transfer. I was headed to ECU. BYU was able to get me into school there at the day I arrived at ECU. So the day I arrived at ECU, I get a call from BYU like, hey, we got you in school. I drop everything at ECU, head to BYU. Meet my parents there on the plane, everything. Meet my parents, my brothers and stuff there, all in Utah. That's how I ended up at BYU. Went up there, went on a visit. Liked what I was told and what I seen. And so, you know, it's like, okay, BYU's going to the Big 12. They're a good known program. You know, let's go. So I got there the first year. You know, they sat me back, which I didn't like. You know, I didn't ever complain. I didn't never show that like take my emotions out on anyone. Nothing. I just kept going. So me going over there off the red shirt year because I broke the collarbone in 2022. So going to the 2023 season, I ain't play a lot at BYU, which I felt I should. Kept going. Next year, I'm like, okay. I told my dad, I'm like, we're not gonna worry or trip out about anything. We're gonna keep going. Year 2, that's your first year over here, new school. We're gonna lay it the rest. So next, going into 2024, I was killing camp. I'm talking about killing it. Like I probably had the best camp out there. Like they was like, oh yeah, Key ready to go. And we get to the first game and we had a kid had to sit out because of a JUCO rule, so he had to miss a game. So he chose to miss the first game, which was not a very good game he needed to be in. And following that next week, I have a good game, like 3 catches for 60-some yards. The next game, that kid come back, I take the back seat, which I still feel like I should. I did everything. I did everything in my hand to be starting. Still didn't start. Game 5, kid get hurt, tears his ACL, and from that point on, it's like that team noticed like, oh, we've been holding Key back like this. We gotta get him the ball. So, but now it's like it's too late. And I just woke up with I just told my dad one morning following this past spring ball, which I wasn't at Miami, I was at BYU, and I just woke up with it on my mind, and I told my dad, I was like, I think I'm gonna leave. And he was like, you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna let coach know I think it's best for me to leave. And I woke up and I left, and like I was actually going to go to UCLA. I was gonna go to UCLA, and I hit the portal and I just started getting offers. And I'm like, whoa, I told my dad, like, Miami, this school, that school. We gotta slow it. We gotta put UCLA on pause. I can go back. I was getting offers to where I can come back down south by home. I had been up north in Connecticut, 18-hour drive from home, but went all the way out west to Utah, 5 or 6 hour flight, and really expensive. Parents and stuff can't afford to get out there and stuff like that. So it was hard being away from home. It's not a flight like Miami. I can on the weekend, on the bye week, I can go home 2-hour flight to Atlanta and see family. Then 6 hours. That 6-hour flight gonna take up most of that day that you can be home with your fam. So it was more of me getting back home into a place to where I can relate to. Like I feel like coaches here let us be ourselves. Like I don't got to worry about putting on the front to be this guy that I'm not. I can come in here and be Keelin. I can come in here and act like Keelin. I can come in here and talk like Keelin. I don't got to change the way I speak for no one or try to change my way for someone to understand me. Like it's a place I can relate to. I can relate to the team. I can relate to the guys. And like I just never told my dad. I just always told him, don't worry. Ain't nothing to worry about, man. He can I think he put a lot of pressure on himself. So just like this journey been sent from UConn to here, it's just like I every time I told him like, don't worry. And some of the people and the kids and the programs we were at, the real gonna always prevail, and it comes to light. It's gonna, and if you do what you're supposed to do and stay on top of your stuff, it's gonna come to light. The real gonna always prevail.
And now you're top 5 team, everybody watching you. You made All-America last year. I got to say, this is the easiest interview I ever had, man. You told your story so well from beginning to end, man. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
This fall, the Canes are taking over paradise again. Canes Weekend of the Bahamas returns October 31st to November 2nd, right here in the heart of Nassau. Choose your vibe, the bold, laid-back energy of the Point Margaritaville Beach Resort, or the timeless charm of British colonial Nassau. 2 beachfront escapes, 1 legendary weekend. Enjoy special rates starting at just $159 per night. Plus, big-time fan energy, exclusive events, Hurricanes legends, and an unforgettable island-style watch party. Lock it in now at Bahamas.com/Canes Weekend. Terms and conditions apply. Going back a little bit, your family, right? Yeah. So they've been with you on this journey, which is not you walk through it step by step. So this is not your normal journey, right? Yeah. And they've been with you. I know you're close to both, your mom and your dad, and they both played different major roles in your life and making you what you are. So right. Talk about that relationship, both with your parents.
Okay, I'm gonna start with my mom. With my mom, I know me and her like this. So it's just like, I can call her to talk to her when I had like girlfriend problems, That's your mom. Certain stuff you can go to dad about, certain stuff you can go to mom about. Yeah. So I know when I used to have like some girlfriend problems or something with like a relationship or my significant other, I know my mom, she gonna tell me when I'm wrong, she gonna tell me when I'm right. She might have my back at the moment, but when we get by each other, she gonna tell me like you was wrong now. Like she gonna always keep it 100 with me. So I always think of her that, she always prays over me, tell me that God's got me, text me every morning, like, good morning, son. She might tell me something like, it's a word we say in Atlanta, I say twin. Twin is like that's your dog. So she text me like, what? She'll text me like, good morning, twin. Hope you have a blessed day. And just stuff like that from your parents and stuff like that, it can take you a long way. Cause you only get one mom, you get one dad. And there's some people out here that don't have neither of those. And I just always, I like to do stuff to make them happy. Like I feel like some people always think I think about myself, but I don't. It's just that it's just the way that I've been raised and the way I grew up is like some stuff don't always need a reaction or some stuff like that. If that makes sense. But me and my mom, that relationship is like no other. We can call and joke on the phone. We can sit on the phone for hours and talk, group FaceTime with each other. Like I just asked her not too long when she come down for the Florida game this weekend. I was like, I need a home cooked meal. I said, I'm tired of eating some fast food and stuff. I need me a home cooked meal. So we always talk about what we gonna cook. I always call her when I'm at home. When I'm down here by myself, I might be in the house. I need some help cooking. I like, how much seasoning you think I should put in here and stuff like that. It's just like little stuff like that. Like that relationship, it goes a long way. Like all the boys, she got none but boys, so she has no daughter. So we always try to show her love, that like always show her that she don't need a man for anything. If that were the case, she don't need a man. She got 5 boys. That those are her men.
And your dad, right? Different kind of relationship, right? Because he's on the sports side a lot.
Yeah, he's on the sports side. Making me become that man, that I am today is like he pushed me. Sometimes I always thought like, man, Dad, like, bro, we just did this, man. We just came from there. Like, you want to be what you want to be great, or you don't. You want to be great or you don't. So it was like, man, like, okay, I go to my buddy's house after the game on Fridays after the high school games. We might spend the night at his house, my buddy's house. He don't care what we done, no matter if you went to go hang with friends after the game, you going to a party, your friend's party, whatever. That next morning, you better be able to get up and get ready to go to workouts. He don't want to hear about you tired or you came, this and that. You need to be ready to go to workout that morning. And I just remember one morning, I stayed at a buddy's and he was my quarterback of my team. He's my quarterback of the team. Our linebacker stayed. Like, we were all so close because we all stayed in the same neighborhood. And I remember all of our parents just like snapped on us one day because they let us hang out and we didn't get up early enough in time to go to training that next day. So they all got on us and stuff. But it's like those rides, the time my dad put in, the sacrifices and stuff he took, the risk he took for me and stuff like that. It's just like I feel like I owe him a lot. I don't even feel like I'd be here today if it wasn't for him. I know he spent countless hours and time and, driving all the way to Tennessee for a camp, driving all the way to Ole Miss and stuff like that, driving all the way to Tuscaloosa. Like, we didn't went all the way to Kentucky, and it was just like, as this portal process went through and we was getting those offers, only thing me and him had a convo about is what took people so long to realize what I can do. And that's like a big convo we always have, like, why everybody see what you can do. And I wonder, like, he just always say he wondered what took people so long to realize. But like I tell him, God make everything happen for a reason. And that relationship with him is like, man, him and go eat together. We can go shopping together. Like, I remember I used to be telling him, like, he used to try to go shopping for me, but he'll buy clothes that like he wear. And I tell him like, Dad, I ain't wearing that, man. I don't even wear that. The shirt too loose. I was like a skinny
he's like a 90s baby, right?
Yeah, he want the big old shirts
clothes.
and the baggy clothes and stuff. Like I want some skin fit stuff. So it's like that relationship with him, like, man, he loved his boys. Like, we had an older brother play up at Sanford. Mm-hmm. He was a big wide receiver too. He was up at a small school up at Sanford, Bulldogs.
Yeah, Bulldogs, yep.
And he played tight end there. He's in the nurse field and stuff right now, in medical fields. And he's doing great and stuff. But like, my dad he pushed us. He pushed his boys. He always pushed his boys when it came to sports and stuff like that. In life, being a man in general, like, he don't like us sleeping past a certain time. Like, on the weekends, I'm like, Dad, it's a Saturday. We gotta be up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Like, now ain't no sleeping past no 12, and you ain't sleeping till no noon up in here. You get up, and it just like, stuff I used to think he was tripping about. I see why parents do. I see why parents do that. I even used to do it to my freshman year roommate and stuff like that. Just always used to tell them, like, what I'm saying, like, man, get up, man. You be sleeping all day, man. Like, what I'm saying, just stuff like that. It's just like stuff carry over and stuff though. But me and my dad, we like this too. We get on the phone. Like, my dad's that guy I talk to after every game. Like, I gotta hear what he say. I gotta hear what he has to say. Like, no matter if he think I did something trash, he think I did something good, I have to see what he say. Cause like, that's like my best friend. Like, he's on the sports side. I can go to my mom about certain things. Like, I can go to my mom about football, but like, I don't think she understands it the way Dad does. Yeah. So what I'm saying, I can talk to Dad like, man, I ran this post route and the defender did this, and like, I can't go tell my mom I ran a post route. She know I'm running routes, but she don't know what route I'm running. So it's just like stuff like that. That's why I know who to go to and stuff like that, though.
And he told me that one of the things was that a lot of schools that you went to camps at or whatever, and I'm not gonna say any names, but they were the ones doubling back in the portal, like, hey man, we need them. It's like, hey, yeah, they would have had them the first time.
The same as that coaches are there. And it's like, now when they didn't want to talk to, when they wanted to ignore me and do this and that, what goes around gonna come around. So when those schools got the doubling back, I'm gonna put you on the back end. I'm gonna put you on the back end. I'm gonna go with who want me first, who want me for me. Yeah. Oh, now you realize, like, it only been a year. It took you a year to realize you had your chance. Like, that's how that I came in when I hit the portal and started getting those offers. I just had that chip on my shoulder, like, oh, I ain't going there. They had their chance. So they had their chance, and I know CJ came here, and I had told him when I hit the pod, like, hey, bro, y'all need receivers, bro. Let me know. And from that way on, I ended up seeing the whole Miami staff down on Twitter. And I told my dad, we was on a visit at SMU. I said, I don't care what y'all say, we need to go see what they have to say. And God just told me something. My parents didn't even know I was gonna commit here. I was in Coach Cristobal's office, and my dad And my mom and my brother, they were sitting like that way, facing this way. Coach Cristobal's probably right here. And I'm sitting to his right. And then he was talking. I was like, Coach. I like cut him out like, Coach, I'm coming. And he like looked at me like, what you mean? I'm coming to play. I'm coming to play for you. I'm committing. And he like, your mom and dad don't look too happy. And I turned around and I'm like, I'm like trying to get him a signal like, fix your face. I'm like, fix your face. And my mom's like, what are you doing? Like, I'm like, something telling me this is where I need to be at. This is where I want to play. My brother, the little brother, was already trying to convince me to come here and play and stuff too.
I was about to ask you about Cruz. So obviously you got a lot of siblings, but he's the younger one, right? So he's the one following you. So what's that relationship like with Cruz?
It's like I give him whatever, or do whatever for him to see him happy. Cause I remember them days when before he was born, I was the young one, and I know it was some stuff I always wanted to do with my brothers. Like, man, y'all don't want to take me to the park and play ball with y'all, man. I can't come hang with y'all. Like, it just like stuff they always used to go do it, and I had to realize I couldn't go do it because I'm not there old. I'm not old enough yet, or they ain't got the time to watch me in that area or whatever we're going. It's just stuff like that, and there's no. Once I grew up to be my brother's age, and now Cruz is my age, it's like, oh, he used to always want to. I was like, Mom, I'm finna go up there to the park and go play ball, or go to the court. I'm going to the court around the corner. But Cruz probably like 7, 8. He wants to come. I'm like, dude, no, like, bro, I ain't got time to be watching you around there, running around, how to find you, this and that. And it's like, he reminded me of myself, and it's like, he looks exactly like me. Like, out of all the brothers, me and him look exactly the same. We act the same. We talk the same. We move the same.
What's the scouting report? What's the scouting report on Cruz? 'Cause I know he's a big time athlete.
Man, Cruz. I think Cruz is gonna be the best one out of all 5 of us.
What's his game? What's he bringing to the table?
Tyreek Hill speed. Tyreek Hill speed. Like, it's sometimes he's so fast that he can't slow down. Like, sometimes my dad will get on him like, dude, you're not running for real, run. But he don't realize how fast he is. He has great hands. He can run routes. He's a 9th grader on varsity, playing varsity football, scoring and stuff. But other than that, he brings a pretty level skill set. He's young, so he's still in ways of figuring himself out, figuring what he can do, what's his game, what's he not. But he can get an outside receiver. He can get in the slot. He literally like me. He can get in the backfield because he has that speed and burst and agility, you know what I'm saying, to make people miss, get in the backfield. He also return kicks himself. So it's like he wears number 17, because I was 17 at BYU. And it's like he follow everything I do. Like, he wants to be a Kane. He wants to be a Kane. So it's like me setting that bar from here. I'm here. He looks up to Malachi and JoJo a lot. Those 2 guys, he always watched on TikTok and YouTube. And like those 2 guys, JoJo, Trader, and Malachi Tony, those 2 guys, I just always tell them like, hey, little bro, be looking up to y'all. Like, y'all never my little brother. Like, he can always say he look up to me, but like, you don't ever know who watching you guys, Malachi. And I just like those guys setting an example for him. Because he watches them every day.
Well, you mentioned he wants to go to the U, and you talked about being in Cristobal's office, and you're thinking, this is where I want to be. Why did you want to be here? You mentioned the distance, but what else made this the move?
It's like the playbook. It came down to like the playbook and the staff is like, okay, Miami just had the number 1 quarterback pick, number 1 offense in the nation. Everyone in the world knows they should have went farther than how the season ended. Everyone knew that. Like, I was at BYU having a great season with my team, myself, and we could be in a hotel watching you guys, and we're like, no, they good. Like, Cam's good, or the team is good. And when I came on a visit, I asked Coach about like the playbook. One thing that was gonna play a big part, because I was coming into a fall camp. I was like a month out of fall camp, coming into enroll into a new school. So playbook played a major part. So it came down to what school's playbook I feel like that I can learn the easiest. You have Carson Beck transferring in, one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, the best quarterback in the nation. And y'all see that. You have Coach Dawson, the best OC in the nation, had the number one offense last year. So it's like, why pass up on those opportunities? You have Coach Beard, phenomenal Coach Vonner. You have two phenomenal wide receiver coaches in the room that can teach you the game in and out, mentally, physically, emotionally. So many ways that they go about coaching us and teaching us. And they showed it to me on my visits. Like, Coach Beard showed me stuff and told me why I was doing it. No one has ever done that. Like, a coach could tell you to use, okay, we're gonna work this move, but why and when should we use that move? And it's like the moves I used to do on my film and stuff, I couldn't even like tell Coach Beard what exactly move it was. So I might do a hesitation, but not even knowing I just did that, but I'm just doing that off of instincts. I was moving off of instincts and muscle memory and just like a feel for the game. Like, to me, I feel like I got a good feel for the game. So the stuff he was teaching me is like, if I add that to my tool bag, it's only gonna make me more dynamic. And it's like, came here, I seen the playbook. Coach Dawson told me, Carson had been out for the spring, and people were trying to throw a lot of stigma on that Carson not gonna be able to play. So every school I went to, they kept saying, "Oh yeah, Carson not gonna be able to do this and that. Do you know Carson elbows messed up? Do you know?" I wanted to come down here and see for myself. So I told my dad that, like, I never really thought Miami really wanted me. I just thought it was an offer. So when I got the offer, I'm telling my dad, like, Dad, they like texting us, like, I think we should, we should listen to what they saying. He's like, do you think they really want it? They want us down there. Everyone just kept trying to throw that, like, oh, the room's too crowded. You're not gonna play. You're not gonna do this and that. Carson not gonna be able to play, get the playbook down. He hasn't even practiced all spring. So, me on the outside looking in, I'm like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? So when I came down here, I contacted CJ, came down here on a visit, and Coach Dawson, everything told me what's going on with Carson, told me how everything would be run once Carson came back off injury. I was talking to Carson, she shot me a text, told me, he feel that I could be great in the offense and stuff, that he'd love to have me here, stuff like that. And I told him, I was like, I'm coming to play with you, bro. Like, Carson and Coach Dawson and Coach Beard in the playbook was definitely a big reason I came here. Coach Cristobal, made my family feel welcome. He was with us the whole visit. Just very genuine guy. Always made us feel good the whole time we was here. Showed us a great time. And I just told my parents, it's just something in my heart. Sometimes you question why you do some things, and it's like, when I came, I questioned myself, but it was just like, it wasn't a question of doubt or anything. It just that, like, you had that question of something like, what made me come here? Did I make the right decision? Did I choose the wrong spot? And it's just stuff like that. But it's just like, the more the day, every other day, it's like, the day was just getting better, better, better. I know it's been days at old schools where I would come out of practice hot. Man, I don't feel like we ain't passing the ball enough. I haven't been mad at one practice here. I haven't been mad one practice here. And, it's been times where I could have been mad in practice, but it just shows me that that's the growth I took since I've been here too. And it's like, once I came here, it's like they brought another Keelin out of me with the talent wise. Like, I was I'm pretty sure, the BYU talent level and the Miami talent level is very different. It's different type of ball players, it's a different hunger. It's a different hunger of players here. It's a different hunger in the players here. Florida kids, they live and die football. They breed football. Like, they breed football players. Georgia breed football players. The football states. This is what we do. So it's like, when I came here and the energy that I just see them play with, the swagger, it's like, why wouldn't you want to be a part of that? Like the way we're blocking out there in the games and stuff, like, I want to block for those guys, because that's just the type of relationship and bond that the team has. And
I want to ask about the blocking. So just in general, like, when you came on the scene, right, you're All-American kick returner. So one of the best players in the country, kick returning being the thing that people were talking about.
Yeah.
But, I know you knew that you had more to offer than just kick returning and jet sweeps and all that. Now I see you here, you're adjusting to the ball. It's not like it's something new, but maybe for the national people watching you, it's like
Yeah,
you're
definitely.
showing them you can do that. You're blocking, you're in the hole, like you're not even blocking on the perimeter. I seen you between the tackles coming around and doing those things. So like, how important was it for you to show people like, yeah, I am an All-America kick returner, but I'm also all this stuff too?
Yes, sir. It's very important because I know it's like, okay, back to the BYU story. When I went over there and sat down, I never returned a kick. I was a punt returner coming from UConn. I had like 400 some yards at punt return. But at UConn, we were rotating punters. So we had like, two, you know what I'm saying, sometimes 2, maybe 3 guys sometimes. Cause they might just switch a guy every drive and do the same thing on kick return there. So I was never really a kick returner at UConn. I was a punt returner. And when I transferred to BYU, they asked me could I return punts. I said, yeah. They went with their option. You know, I can't say too much, but they went with who they wanted to go with. And I was there. The kid ended up getting a concussion one game. And from that day on, they told me to go back there. I was the backup guy, and ever since that day, I was back there. And it's like, by me wasn't getting that much playing time at BYU. When I did touch the ball on kick return, it's like, oh, he getting 35. Oh, he got us to the 40. Oh, he just ran them back. Oh, he ran another one back. Oh, he got us to the 50. It's like stuff like that. And it's like the stigma built, oh yeah, he's a great returner. Like, I don't like to let people know I'm not just no return guy. I'm a wide receiver. I can run real routes. I can release. I can get off press. I can beat man. I can create separation. I can go deep. I can go across the middle, quick game. I can get handoffs. I feel like I can do it all, and it's like it just felt like I was never getting that opportunity to show that at BYU, and I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying, it's game 3. I done showed a little sample of what I can do. I'm just getting started.
Just getting started. And I asked everybody this question. I want to ask you, because I know talking to your dad, you've been working hard for a minute. It's not like you got to college and started working hard. You've been training hard, sacrificing times you could be doing other stuff to go train.
Yes, sir.
Going back to when you were a kid. So when there's days maybe you don't want to train, which is everybody has days where you're like, you don't want to train, your body's not feeling good, whatever it is. What pushes you to be like, all right, you know what? I don't feel good, whatever. I'm pushing through, I'm training. What drives you?
What drives me is I got a best friend that passed away when we were like 15. And he always, my mom is originally from Mobile, Alabama. I moved from Alabama when I was 8 to Atlanta. And so when I moved, and I always go back to Alabama, my friend Jermaine, he will always ask me like, man, can I come back to Atlanta with you? Man, I want to come out there and see what y'all be doing. I want to go play. I want to play on your team. It's just like stuff like, me and my dad talk about it, you know, sometimes to this day, it's like, he always asks, could he come with me? Could he come up there and do this with it? Could he come play on this team? You know what I'm saying? But it's like, that wasn't my parents' child. So, you know, we can't, you know how that be. So it's just like, once that happened and then he passed away, like that took a big toll. That took a big toll on me because, you know, I never got a chance to see it. It's like the last thing stuck in my mind was somebody asking me, could he come back to Atlanta with me? And next thing I know, a month or 2 later, he was gone. And like that took a big toll on me. And that was my like true best friend since we came out the womb. Like my mom and his mom, best friends. I still check on his mom to this day. We ride around in the Hot Wheels with each other and stuff in the neighborhood. It's just like that was my dog, and that took a big toll on me. So that's like one of my big whys. And you know, of course, my family. I'm the first one to go to college out of all 5 of the boys, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's big. So that's why my mom get very emotional about that. Like, I'm the first one to graduate college. I'm the first one to graduate high school, and it's like, for my family in general, mom's side and dad's side, is like, who done what I done? We ain't never seen our family member on TV until me. You know what I'm saying? So I know, you know, some stuff that I really just do this for my best friend and my family. But, you know, sometimes people make me see the bigger picture of what I actually do for my family too, though. So I think my why is definitely, I ain't gonna say I think my why is definitely going for my best friend and my family.
I know you're making everybody proud, and Canes fans love you, and you got a lot of questions from the Canes fans I want to get to here. Wyatt Witt asking, what's a day in the life of a D1 athlete like yourself? Like for people who don't know, because they think they see the touchdowns, right? They see you doing all the plays, but they don't know like the day-to-day grind. So like at Miami, what's the day-to-day grind looking like?
The day-to-day grind, the guys, we're gonna get in here. We're gonna wake up by, sometimes some guys wake up at 5, between 5 to 5:30. We want to try to get in here early, get some treatment in, take care of your body, get stretched, get taped. And you always want to get in here early enough to, eat a good solid breakfast to where you can burn those calories off in practice instead of, cramping, creating those soft tissue injuries and stuff like that. So it's like, you get up and get in here before like 6 o'clock, get you a good solid breakfast in, let it digest, get some treatment, taped, and, make sure you be on meetings. Here we have special teams meetings, position meetings. We just go through like the install of what we're gonna do this week, the scouting reports of the opponent for the week, and go to practice, go out there, execute, come in. Sometimes we might have a lift, get a pump in, keep the muscles flowing, the blood flowing, and stuff like that, and go eat team lunch over at Kane Zone. Get us a good meal, and from that point on, everyone goes on about to class. Some people have the noon classes, some people have the night classes and stuff. And some days we have those night meetings where we come back, go over practice film, and do a little install. Then we back at it in the morning, same thing.
So that's the grind. It's another question about kind of the result of that grind, which is USF is the game we just played before we recorded. Right. We didn't play. I was watching the stands. You played before we recorded this one, but the catch. The fans want to know about that catch, the one on the sideline, just a crazy adjustment. Obviously, talk about being a receiver. I mean, that was a big-time wide receiver play right there, adjusting to that deep ball. Walk us through that one.
It was just, like I say, I don't know who I told, but I know I just recently told someone, like, when you see guys like CJ, Mally, and Josh, and, JoJo, the rest of those guys come on in there and catch those passes and make those exciting plays, is like, I feel like it should motivate the next person who haven't got it yet to be ready for when his time comes. So when we call that play, I see Carson like this. I can see his whole body. That the O-line is crazy. So Carson just standing in that pocket with the time of his life. So as I see him like cocks his arm back, I said, "Yeah, I'm going to get it." I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to get it." And he threw a dime, and the rest was the rest. And to hear that stadium and go blur, it made me feel so good. And I seen the highlight clip yesterday on IG of like number of the Miami receivers, and every catch, all you hear is blur, blur. And it's just like I'm on my couch by myself, just dying laughing. I said, "Bro, I love it." That's all they're gonna hear all season, blur.
I love it. You talked about Carson. There's a question about Carson. Just working with him, what's that been like?
He's genius. Carson is genius. He's very smart, very high QB, very mature. Played in the best of the best, played against the best of the best teams, played in the best of the best, won the best of the best conference, and you can tell he brings it. He brings it over here to another great conference, football, and he also has some stuff he wants to prove to people. Prove to himself, and and I just always tell Carson, like, bro, we don't care. You throw a bad ball, you throw a pick, you fumble, whatever you feel like you down for, don't ever be down because we got your back. Like when he threw a pick in South Florida, he came up to the sideline like, like that's me, guys, like down on himself. I'm like, man, you Carson, dog. Like, man, next play mentality, you good. And I just always, we always want to make Carson feel that we got his back. You know what I'm saying? Having your QB like, man, my guys got me. Yeah, that's a whole nother level of football. Just knowing your guys got your back and you ain't got to worry about anything. So we just try to keep him lifted. He's a smart guy. He get the receivers and us in the film room. Like right before he go home, he like, "Hey, before y'all go to class, let's go get the practice right. Let's go get on practice right quick." Stuff like that. It's just like he brings us along and stuff and show us what he learned from guys he been behind, and all he played behind some great players too. So all the stuff he learned, he just giving us that same knowledge too, and it also makes the wider room open up our mind of how he see things. Because the paper might say run this, but Carson might say keep it like that because I want to throw it a certain way. I want to put a little touch on it. I want to throw it on the tight rope. It's like the way he thinks is like, man, he's smart, man. He's a very great QB.
Seems like a lot of these transfers to Miami, yourself included, Carson included, guy like CJ Daniels, Monterey coming off injury, Marty Brown coming from a FCS level. Feels like you guys got a lot to prove. You guys were highly recruited out the portal, but it's not like you guys were 5 stars the whole way through and everybody was just on your bandwagon from day one to now. So do you feel that with this team? There's a lot of guys with chip on their shoulders?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. There's a lot of guys that's from this area, they have something to prove to themselves, their city, their, back their neighborhoods and stuff like that. They got a lot of stuff to prove. So it's just like, man, everyone in here plays with that chip. Like Saturday, I feel like you can see it. Like coming from defense to special teams to like, just as people, people just keep saying a lot about the receivers doing the way they're blocking. Like, it's just like, it's fun to us. So, you know what I'm saying? We just, you got to have fun with it. I just feel like we have the right way. We go the right way about having fun with the game.
So you got to go. So I don't want to keep you too long. You've been awesome. But there's a great question that I wanted to ask you, especially with everything you talked about, your journey and how hard you worked. A lot of young athletes watch this show, so a lot of questions we get are from people that want to be in your shoes.
Yes, sir.
Right? So one question here. If I want to, this young man wants to get more committed to the game. He wants to, like, what can I do to really go all in? What would you advise you get to somebody that wants to really put themselves into this game?
What advice would I give to someone that want to just go put their, commit to the game fully? Yeah. I can say, the best advice I can say is try to be consistent with yourself. I know it's been times where, just like you say, it's days you don't want to go do stuff. And, those are the days that really count more than the days that you wanted to go do it. The days you're like, man, I'm banged up, I'm sore, my this hurting me, my back hurt, my hand, stuff like that. Those are the days where it's going to pay off. And, it took, me going through the journey, going to 3 different schools, and it's just I even tell Malachi and Josh them sometimes, bro, before the first game, Josh was in my hotel roommate, and Josh asked me before the first game, I was like, bro, what you think I need to do to to play good, to be out there? I said, bro, you're young, you're gonna be nervous, that come with the game. As long as you can be consistent and show your coach that they can trust you, you can do the job right, everything else gonna fall in play. We know Josh, like I told Josh, we know you can catch, we know you can run routes. It's can you go out there and do the right thing and execute the right way. So I just tell that person to, stay humble, stay strong, and stay consistent. Stay consistent in what they do the day-to-day basis. No matter if you're gonna get up at, I know I was slacking a little bit once I got here, just getting up, coming in here to stretch. Sometimes I might not feel fully warm, but dang, I didn't get up early enough, and it's just the consistency, can't come early one day, late the next day. That's just gonna throw your body off. So I just tell that person to stay consistent.
All the hard work you've been putting, being consistent now is starting to really pay off and just getting started, like you said. Keelan, man, appreciate you. Remember to like and subscribe to this podcast, Canes All Access. Check us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Appreciate OmegaXL Sport, and we will see you next week. Keelan, appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Go Canes, baby.